tonight I thought I would bring forward an aspect of awakening that I don't know, just recently I've been having some reports and some sessions where I can see where we're getting a little bit confused. There's the pointer be as is. We've heard it, you know, be as is, whatever's happening. That is the only place you can actually be, and the only place you can start from, and the only place that, you know, the only way is through. You can't get around the present moment. So, if the very contracted or identified me, that piece of consciousness that is still analyzing, categorizing, describing, judging, you know, having the experience and then reflecting upon it and relating it to an identified me. If that piece of consciousness that is often called the ego or whatever you want to call that runs with that be as is pointer, what I see and what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is going to apply to anybody in this group, so we'll see, is a kind of a misinterpretation where there's like an indulgence in whatever is, an indulgence in like a feeling or like a deeply sitting down right directly into the emotional body, the pain body, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, or acting. Well, you know, this is what is, and so this is where I'm moving from. This is where I'm identified. That the pointer be as is, and like paper children's start where you are. The only way is through. It's from that aspect of consciousness that is open field awareness, open field listeningness, ever isness, clear light of presence. And when one inhabits the clear light of awareness, the clear light of presence, everything is met very naturally, very compassionately. Even all the stuff will come through from the human aspect. All the stuff will come through from the human aspect, but it is lived from and as undefinable, inexpressible, undeniable presence. So I hope we can hear the difference, because one way of hearing it is well, we'll know where we're hearing it from, because when we're hearing it from whatever we want to call it tonight, the small self or whatever, the identified self, it will be used as a justification. You know, well, I'm being as is, and right now, as is just totally 100% pissed off. So everybody watch out. When the totally whatever it is, aggrieved, pissed off, whatever that thing is, that's arising in relationship and reaction to the events of phenomenal reality, coming and going reality. When it's met purely from this unmanufactured, it's not manufactured compassion, it's not manufactured gratitude, it's not practiced kindness and all of that, although all of that, I'm not against anything. I'm not, please hear me. I'm just talking about the presence that actually inherently meets every moment openly. Then the events, the sensations, the experiences, they come and go. They come, they abide in the clear light of presence, and they go. They go. But in that abiding phase, where it's directly experienced, if there is a belief system engaged, around the direct experience. I am feeling this, so therefore, and it identifies and categorizes the world, then the going part doesn't get around to going. Sometimes what, for decades? Anybody? We have that moment where we go, oh man, I'm still holding on to that. It's unconscious. It goes underground. And that's really what transmutation is all about. It's a becoming conscious in the moment, in the situation, in the event, in the phenomenon, becoming conscious of the clear light, the open awareness, the presence that is, the ever is, and then listening from there, seeing from there, being from there. You could maybe even say experiencing from there, although it may not feel like an actual experience because it's sort of beyond the experiencer. One is being as is. But it's not a reaction. What happens is whatever is occurring is met, and there will be an unfolding, an abiding, an unfolding. That's in that moment, the unfolding part, there's a real temptation to analyze, refer, categorize, believe, make some case for so that the action piece can feel good. Reaction. But kind of almost alchemically, miraculously, as we build this capacity to abide heartfully, openly, wholly, responsiveness arises. A response that is beyond the reactionary path of thinking, believing, feeling, I'm talking about like having like a thinking, believing, emotional cycle that gets triggered for all of us, for all of us. And when you're attending and referring to that cycle, this responsiveness that arises, it arises, it dawns. This is real. It dawns in consciousness. It dawns. Which is really different, right? It's a different sensation. It's a whole different way of being. So we kind of have to be, we have to be sincere with ourselves, how we are hearing and interpreting these kind of classic pointers. And then, ask ourselves the question, how's that working for us? Like, how's it working? Like, is this being as is, or the only way is through, or what's the other real staying present or whatever? Is it moving towards harmony, more and more harmony? And I'm not saying a space that's free of challenging events or challenging emotions or challenging humanity. We all have that. It's just that the experience is completely different when the listeningness is front and center and has the attention. Has the attention. Here, it's the giving the mind, giving away, giving away, giving away, giving away, giving away, giving away to the heart. But not the heart that is like an organ of emotional storminess, but the heart that is an organ of spiritual perception. A heart that is inherently open, like water is wet. It's not trying to be open or scared to be open or, all the stuff. I'm not against any of that. That's what happens in our human experience, but it is openness. And that capacity comes naturally, I think, for a lot of us, and maybe not for some others. But it becomes brighter and more engaged and more vital and more palpable the more we attend to it. So that we can attend to the same old in the believing, identified structures of thought and emotion. I mean, I can remember when this first started coming online here, thoughts that were so fresh. I felt like they had never been thought before, would be front and center. And I would even say like, oh, yeah, that's not a Jennifer Tyler thought. That's not the same old, same old. programming. You know, there is freshness to it. There is freshness to the arising from the ground and the heart. It doesn't feel like the same old, same old. But it's a active meditation, an active contemplation to continue to return the attention in, you know, deeper and deeper water, bigger and bigger waves, whatever, to this heartfulness, this wholeness at the center of our being, the open field of awareness at the center of our being. That capacity, although it's very natural, it's inherent and it's natural. You can't earn it or manufacture it or deserve it after many lifetimes of punishing karma. No, it's our birthright. It's who we are. It's the love, the uncaused, original love that we all are, all the time, no matter what. The appearance, the belief that's coloring the reflection. But it's veiled. It's veiled for most of us. It's veiled through lots of conditioning. Good news is a lot of that conditioning falls away in big chunks as we, I want to say, devote ourselves to the true nature, the shared true nature. It begins to just fall away of its own accord. Certainly there are stickier areas than others. And like Trish and I were talking before satsang started, just about that cosmic corkscrew where once in a while you run upon something that you thought was long gone, that you don't really have a conscious identification with anymore. It's like it happened in another world, in a different person. And yet there it is, wanting to let go at an even deeper level, a more collective level, less personal. So again, I mean, I don't know if, you know, this is applicable to those of you who have come tonight, but any pointer, any spiritual languaging is worth really contemplating and understanding from a point of view where we are applying it and are aware of the results. You know, there's so much spiritual languaging. I've heard Ajahn say many times that when he would first sit down in the chair and he would say, well, my plan is to fail as best as I can. Languaging this stuff. He's going to do my best, but I'm going to fail. And we all know that, right? We can't language our true nature. But the poets, and the people who are wordsmiths do it so beautifully. Be still and know I am source, God, spirit, love, fill in the blank, the one that works for you, is just as potent as probably when it was very first spoken. And every word in that sentence can be a pointer. Be still and know I am source. So language is powerful. but it can't really, it's the finger pointing to the moon. It has to be lived. One has to be sincere about how one is internalizing it and living from it and acting. Because we all know that indulging a belief, thinking, belief, emotional cycle that has damaging results for ourselves and for others cannot be what be as is pointing to. You know, one way of languaging it that I find really useful and actually can find within my body, in the body, is the vertical and horizontal axis. That vertical, clear channel, timeless, formless, beyond space and time, beyond um, beyond and before, prior to individualization. And the horizontal axis, our life, linear time, events, aging. So when we're in the midst of these conditioned reactions, timeless, formless, inherently compassionate, inherently kind, open, is a place to be. And then the horizontal, what we call material reality, reflects, do I dare say higher wisdom? I had some people really have trouble with the idea of some kind of hierarchy, and some people are, I don't mean that. Within every person, there is a deeper, let's say, deeper, a depth of true nature, a depth. That's beyond space and time, beyond what we're conditioned to believe, beyond what how we're conditioned to react, what we need in the moment to satisfy the mind's and ego's need for defensible territory. It's beyond all that. And the more that that is inhabited consciously, attentively, the more it is lived and seen and felt and tasted and touched and breathed. The kingdom of heaven is spread upon the earth for those who have eyes to see. It starts to really become reality. And hopefully, in this crowd, I'm pretty sure it's a gentle and kind process, I hope, rather than a judging and punishing one. One has to be sincere about whether the superego has come back on board and is, you could have done better, you should have done better. If you only would have this, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You're awful in this, you're not, whatever, I don't know what everybody's like version of it is. But it's not kind. And that too, when seen and met from this true place of unchangingness, is transformed and is able to go. It's able to go. We think we're afraid of what's coming, but from what I've seen from teaching for 11 years is that we're really scared of what might have to go. What might, have to go for us to live our joy, live as love. I certainly have met that here. I've been deeply, deeply surprised and startled by some of what had to go. I would have never imagined it because there was still a peace coming from the world of good and bad. And surely we're not going to be letting go of trying to be a good person, are we? Oh my God, what's going to happen? It's easy to think about letting go of what we consider to be badness, but the problem is everybody's got a different definition of good and bad. So that's not the truth. The truth is unchanging. It ever is. And it's same. Looking from my eyes to your eyes to mine. It's out beyond, like Rumi says, out beyond right doing and wrong doing. I'll meet you there. In that field, out beyond right doing and wrong doing. I'll meet you there. And then there is the actual opportunity for uncaused, original, shared love that is the essence of the fabric of the universe to express purely, originally. You know what I'm saying? Without the burden and the arrogance of judgment. I can kind of get a little sleepy, a little boring to be read to. But this is something that came forward. So when the beliefs in the mind overlay the truth of the, I'm gonna take a chance here. Divine human, original. The reflection of this is fulfilled as the mind world. So the beliefs are overlaid on the truth, the conditions, and we see the world of division. and it is fulfilled, because creation is fulfillment. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not a judging, good, bad, punishing, rewarding, head schoolmaster sitting in the sky giving A's, B's, C's, and D's. Oh man, we're so, it's been harmful to us, that belief. It's fulfillment, it's creation. That's what it is. But when it is the suchness, the substance, the whatever you want to call that, the the suchness of creation is filtered through the cookie cutter conditioning in the mind: war, scarcity, conflict, separateness. Then that's how it looks, because it fulfills. That's what it does. It fulfills. It's fulfilled, reflected as division, separateness. But as the authentic divine self is realized, the truth is unveiled. In other words, we change the world by realizing the truth of our being, and being as is. And the original image is then fulfilled in the reflection. The reflection is the only means for itself to see itself. And when we take heart with certainty in our true nature as causeless love and joy, even if we do not have the conscious experience of this, but we trust that no matter the current belief playing out as appearance, the ultimate truth beyond appearance remains: love is all, and we are love. And eventually, as one continues to unfold this certainty, it will begin to be reflected, and we will see, feel, hear, touch, love. And eventually the labor of thought and the arrogance of belief is absent, and all is as it is. It's what the Buddhists call basic goodness. Not a goodness that's in opposition to a badness, a basic, essential goodness. It's the heart, bodhicitta, the heart of reality, the naked, impoverished, unveiled heart of all that is. Naked of these cookie cutter insistences. We're insisting on survival of the fittest and all the stuff that makes us suffer. Opposition, separateness. Not that we don't get to live these amazing, I mean, this is the thing that never comes across. I don't feel like I ever get it across. Individualization, not separate me, holding up the world the best I can. But individualization imbued with true love is this and this. Free of all the concepts. Just natural, authentic beauty. I mean, and the enjoyment of that internally is liberation. That's liberation. It's liberation. free of all that self-doubting, right? And unworthiness and not good enoughness and all that stuff that we've been plastered on top of it. But me doesn't know any better. It just doesn't. Just doesn't. So it can feel like a practice, a contemplation, which is attending to something of depth and profundity and unknowingness for a period of time, over time, all your life, maybe. I have certain things I've been contemplating for, I can't remember, since I was living in my parents' house upstairs, thinking, there's the dream and there's the dreamer. Are they separate? You know, whatever it is that bubbles up within you, these contemplations, practices, are a little different word, but the same thing. Bringing the attention to that field that Rumi is pointing us towards, out beyond right doing and wrongdoing. The pure awareness, the pure light. My eyes, your eyes. And inhabiting that vast, unknowable, mysteriously vital, creative presence. And when we get into a cycle of naming, referencing, categorizing, judging, probably ourselves, okay. Is it kind? Bring the attention, drop it down, step back, down, back, and in. Here I am. Here I am. Not here I am, and I'm. Here I am. That's it. And you see from there, and listen from there, and live as that. Okay, thank you. Let's take a break. Let's take a 10-minute break.